Welcome back. As y'all know, the interior is finished and it's start to work on something else. Finally. Been waiting for a long time for that. So we got all this stuff right here. Pretty badass, right? It's a long ass extension. Damn, I gotta get some shocks or something. So in order to get these hoses, you got A-N fittings. They go here. So one of them goes here, one of them goes here, and then you just route them out to the cash can on this side. But we got to get rid of these. So typically people, like the way they are on my car, I have aftermarket valve covers, so they have these really nice fittings that are already, you know, designed onto the cover. But what people do for the stock valve covers, they usually weld a bung here and then just bolt them on there. But I don't feel like taking this off, getting the little trays on the inside out, and then you gotta drill out the rivets, gotta put them back in, so it's a lot of work and welding it, so I don't want to do that. So get yourself some radium valve cover fittings. As you can see, they're already threaded, so you can just screw that in there, and basically you take this out and you press these in. Super simple. Whoever worked on this car before me, they were probably trying to get this out, they broke it, this fell into the valve cover, they never even cared to look for it, and they just pressed a new one in. Thankfully I did look in there, because if not, this was just going to be bouncing around in there. So, you know, like I told y'all before on that video where I talked about how I got my Supra and why I started YouTube, things happen for a reason. You know, earlier I got really frustrated and I got upset because I thought this had fallen into the valve cover, and it was weird. I just couldn't believe how something like this could have fallen back in there. But that happened for a reason, for me to find this broken piece. So remember, just don't get upset, and you know, just try to understand. See, nice and cold. So I don't have enough space here to actually hammer it in. As you can see, the turbo's getting in my way. So what I'll do is I'll put this here and just kind of press it in with the top, and there you go. And that's pretty much it. So put this here and then just hit it from the back until it went in. Hit it from the back. So there you go. You know, I noticed a couple of things here on the valve covers. And look at that, these are wide open. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. I'm sure this supposed to be a little hose that goes from here to here, from here to here. So I gotta fix that. And also I was bolting the throttle cable back on, and it's this bracket that's just like right here. But man, it's kind of ugly. So I'm gonna go and smoothen these out, make it kind of rounded. I don't know, make it look a little bit nicer. It looks kind of ugly. And the throttle cable is back on. I think it looks a little bit better, you know, with these rounded edges. It just looked kind of cheap. Well, I mean, still doesn't look the best, but it's all right. Anyway, so this little filter right here, this is for here. So this is the hose that's on there. Here we go. And it's just literally a hose. There's no filter, no nothing. So we're gonna put this filter here. It's not the best fit. It does kind of touch a little bit down here, but it's better than this hose. So now the intake, you know, I wasn't too sure what degree I wanted to get, 45 or what to do, but I think this is gonna be a good angle right here. It's my baby over there. You know, I talk about fixing these cars up for my wife or my car, but at the end of the day, this little guy right here, he's gonna be the owner of them. Ain't that right? He can be your cars, huh? just like that. It's got a long ass intake. I'm gonna redo all the intercooler piping. I'm gonna redo all of it because it's all mainly couplers and clamps everywhere. So, and I'm gonna do it all in just the aluminum finish. I'm not sure if I had shown you guys this, but I did get the aluminum radiator pipe for the top. So good. All right, what else? Okay, turbo blanket, let's put that on. Yeah, so I got a little bit excited and I didn't record that. So it's actually pretty simple installing a turbo blanket. So you get these little springs here, and basically you just wrap it around the turbo, and it has these little hooks here. So you just, you know, hook it on there, and then you go around to the other side. See? And then it's one in here and one in here. So it just kind of ties the turbo blanket together, so that way it won't come off. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, so now we gotta run the lines and do the catch can. Setting up the catch can is pretty easy. There's really not much to it. So these filters here, you get 2 vibrant filters. They go on this side here, one on each side, and you bolt it up to the car. Then you run these lines here, these stainless lines, one to here, and then to each side of the valve covers. You know, this car has been a ton of work, a lot more than I expected. But you know, one thing that always makes me happy is this glove box right here. This is the one that was in the car. Obviously the car has a new one now, but every time I've ever needed a bolt or something, you know, from the car, thankfully I've been able to find it here. So right now I was looking for some to hold the catch can in there, and I did find these bolts that fit perfect. And I didn't record that, I mean, but it's easy. It's just bolting it down there and there. And it's nice though, because now I was able to hide some of these ugly unused plugs from the ABS. So now I just gotta run the lines and I'll be all set here. I think that's pretty much everything I brought out to install today. So we're done. One step at a time, you guys, one step at a time. I can't break my bank more than it already is. But the next time I'm probably gonna start on maybe the intercooler or the exhaust. I'm not really sure. So this is my issue that I'm having. The exhaust, I ordered nothing but stainless steel piping. Just, you know, really nice stainless steel piping. And I don't know if y'all know this, but stainless steel, I'm gonna be TIG welding it, so I need to practice a lot to make sure the TIG welds don't look terrible. But not only that, stainless needs to be back purged, and you back purge it in order to not get like crystallization or sugaring inside the weld. And basically, if you do get that, if you don't back purge it and you get that sugaring inside the weld, it'll crack. And well, with this car, I do plan to set up you know, a pretty gnarly 2-step, and you know, we are going to be banging gears in this car, so it's going to be going through some pretty drastic heat cycles. So I need to back purge that exhaust. The problem is I don't have the setup to back purge it, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to just buy like a dual regulator or another tank, and I don't know, I'm thinking about it. And the intercooler piping, well, that's aluminum. I've welded aluminum, TIG welded aluminum before. It didn't look good. So I gotta practice and make it to where I can do something like this. Would y'all like to see some of that? Would y'all like to see my progression on my TIG welding? I can probably make a video or two showing y'all how difficult it is and where I start and where I finish, because I know I'm sure I'll get good at it. Anything y'all practice for a long time, you will get good at it. It's practice makes perfect. But let me know if y'all want to see something about that of welding. If not, I'll just practice on my own, make it, you know, get to a point where I got it down and I can do a nice job, and then I'll just fab up the exhaust and the intercooler piping. But I don't know. I think I may still have some more stuff inside the house. Honestly, I put all this stuff on the car just because I need to make space. I've had these boxes in there for months, for a long time actually. I think since like the end of last year, beginning of this year, I ordered way too much stuff when I got the car. I need to run all the AC stuff, all the power steering stuff. Now that kind of work is probably boring, and I'm not gonna be able to record much of it because I mean all these lines are run through here. So it's very, very tight, and honestly, I don't think y'all would probably be entertained doing something like that. I have most of the parts. Hopefully I have all of it. Basically I would just bring in my Supra, park it here, and then I'll use my Supra for reference, and you know, just kind of, you know, go from there. But anyways, you guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that, and I'll go ahead and catch y'all on the next video. Right, later.